Okay, so here we are. Where are we?
Oh, we're in Liverpool Airport.
Liverpool Airport.
Yeah.
We're in Liverpool Airport. We are.
We're jet setters.
And I have to apologise. Look at the
Look,
state
of
this.
our hair. Yeah.
We've just come back from France, and we left the Dordogne this morning. And as we were leaving, it was torrential. The rain it was horizontal rain. It was horrible. And I got absolutely soaked getting from the car into the airport. So this is me au naturel. I didn't know that.
I think she looks better this way, but nobody actually believes me. She looks better, doesn't
she? It looks completely bad.
She does.
Anyway, what are we here talking about?
Well, we're here to talk about our relationship with France, which has brought up things in our relationship with each other, and how we kind of deal with all that. Well, how Jenny deals with it, I'm not going to tell you anything about me.
I just don't listen to it.
She just doesn't listen to me.
No, we've just come back from our, probably I think our 8th week, or 7th or 8th week spent in France in the last 3 months, 4 months.
Yeah.
And we are at a bit of, not really an impasse, I wouldn't say it was an impasse.
Crossroads?
A crossroads in our relationship.
A full stop, a cul-de-sac?
I'm going back to France, he's going back to Ireland.
So no. We're finished.
It's a very interesting place. So basically, in my heart of hearts, yes, I would love to move to France. And I'm very sure about that now. It feels very right to me. And I would quite happily go quite soon. And where are you with it all?
Well, hang on. Let's say that again. As to say on the news, you'd quite happily go very soon if a certain person was coming with you.
Yeah, well, that's
what you told me, anyhow. So better tell them the same thing.
Is this Johnny Depp or who's this?
Okay, I'm the certain person.
Yeah. So, there's certain conditions that need to be in place for me to move to France. One would be that we would need to sell the house that we live in Northern Ireland, so that I would actually have the money to move to France. Or the universe might...
The property market in Dublin goes sky high the next 12 months, and I sell my property in Dublin and clear some equity.
Anyway, so we need to have money to move to France. That would be the main thing.
Okay.
And I would very much prefer to move with you.
You mean you would without me?
Oh, well, did
you feel that pause?
Well, this is a very important pause, because here's the thing. I know from previous relationships that I've had that I have given up my dreams for the other person, for the other person's dreams. So I've sort of pushed down my own needs and my own desires in order to please the other person and to be nice to them, which is great. It's nice to be nice to your partner.
Well, except that I've also done the same thing in my relationships, where I'm kind of a background kind of person, as you probably got it. I'm not so upfront as Jenny. So I tend to kind of go with the flow and so on, but sometimes that has meant I put my own needs second. So it's interesting that we both have that kind of same thing going on in relationships, and now it's like Jenny wants to move to France and I am just not really sure, and I'm not saying yes. I'm not saying no either, but I'm not saying yes. So we're in a kind of a transition place as regards the move, as regards what that would mean for our relationship, whether I move or not, or what happens. So we're kind of teasing all that out and feeling into our edges around all of that.
And the one thing that we also both know is that if either of us went along with the other person's desire purely to please the other person, we both know, because we're wise enough and old enough and wise enough, especially old, he's
eventually.
Eventually. No, I meant wise enough. Yeah, eventually. Oops. Sorry, excuse the announcement about. We're both old enough and wise enough to know that one of us would end up, whoever gave in, if that's the right word, would end up resenting it, and that potentially in the future would poison the relationship.
Yeah, so we don't want to go against what feels right for us.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And so if one thing feels right for Jenny and that doesn't feel right for me, at least we're able to be very honest about that and say, okay, that doesn't feel right at the moment. So I suppose in a strange way we've agreed to kind of sit with it for a bit longer and not do anything too rash, not say wholeheartedly yes, because I can't, and not say absolutely not either. So we're in this kind of place where we're teasing out what this might mean for us, and so there's a real surrender in that, because to be quite honest, if the right signs come, I'm very happy. to move, but certain things have to be in place for me too. So I have some preconditions in terms of my life, not necessarily to do with Jenny, but they kind of have to fall into place to make it easy and effortless, because that's one of our key phrases, I think, in all of the work that we do with people in their own lives. Easy and effortless appears very important to us. It's not that we don't put effort in, but there's no stress in it. So we'll know if this feels right for both of us, we think, within the next 4 months. So these 3 or 4 months we're going to use to kind of gather more and more evidence for sure, but also keep tuning into the signs, keep tuning into what feels right. We've even talked about the possibility of a long-term relationship. We've even long-distance relationship. We've even
not long-term. We're not interested in long-term.
Oh no, let's keep it short-term.
Don't tickle the camera.
Don't tickle the camera.
Jiggle the camera.
We've also even talked about the possibility of us not being in our relationship. You know, what that might mean if, you know, Jenny really wanted to go and Owen was very clear about not going. It's been very interesting for both of us.
It is, and then the universe we've kind of sort of, as we do, said, okay, well, we're both very clear on the common ground between what we both want.
Yes, we are. We have a lot of common ground.
Yeah, so we do want to be together. There's a lot that we know that we do want, so we're very clear on that. And one of the interesting things that happened this morning was that we got an offer, a potential offer, of the option to go and do another house sit in a part of France, which we're very interested in potentially buying a property in. But this is a 3.5, nearly 4 month long house sit from September to January. And that kind of put the cat amongst the pigeons a little bit this morning. This morning, as we were driving to the airport, we were having quite detailed conversations about.
That was right in there among the pigeons.
About,
you know, killed.
Okay, is that a sign from the universe? Is that the universe saying, yeah, okay, go and explore, spend some time, live in France for more than a few weeks, and you could see it as that. You could see it as the universe making that very easy for us to do. It's free. You get free accommodation. You know, we can go and look around, house hunt, find the right place, and all the rest of it. And yet, I think as the day has gone on today, we've come to the conclusion that it doesn't actually feel quite right for either of us.
Not quite. It doesn't feel quite right. So it's like, yes, there's that initial excitement when something is offered to you. And I think we both learned that it's quite easy to get carried away by that sometimes and go with the excitement. And sometimes that's not actually the right decision. So yes, maybe the heart feels a bit excited, but to let the invitation drop even deeper, more into kind of the belly area, and say, well, does it really feel totally right? Like absolutely in a real deep place feel right? And I think we're kind of tuning into the fact that maybe it doesn't. Excuse me. So yeah, we're going to sit with that, I think, maybe for another 24 hours and see, you know, is that the deeper truth?
Yeah. So I guess what's emerging out as we're talking here, one of the key points here is, how do you honour yourself in relationship and still honour the other person?
Yeah, well, I think we're doing it. I think the way to do it is for both people to be absolutely honest about what they like, what they don't like, what they want, what they don't want, and for both people to be able to explore their edges within that, you know, and not have to have any kind of preconceived, well, you've got to come to France, or, you know, no, we're not going to France. It's just allowing the uncertainty. You know, there's that phrase, isn't there, the wisdom of uncertainty, which, who said that?
Deepak Chopra.
Deepak Chopra.
7 Spiritual Laws of Success.
The wisdom of uncertainty. And there is a wisdom in it, and allowing that to kind of be there and to gestate and see what comes out of that. Most people run away from uncertainty, and that's, I suppose, an ego structure. And we've, I think, learned to be okay with uncertainty, because maybe it's going to offer us something else, and I suppose that's what we're deep down we're hoping for.
And the other thing that's coming to me as we're talking as well is, before I met Owen, one of the books that had a really big influence on me, big impact on me, was called Wild Love by a lady called Jill Edwards, and a fabulous book. And there was a chapter in it about, well, there's lots of stuff about relationship in it, but I was single, or certainly just coming out of my marriage at the time, and there was two pages in it which really impacted me, which were to do with the idea of having a relationship where the love is so strong between the two of you that fundamentally what you want is for the other person to be happy and for the other person to fly free.
Whatever that means.
Whatever that means, and that actually normally what happens within relationship is that the relationship is based on my ego and your ego. And the ego needs security, as Owen's just said. You know, the ego needs to know, okay, you're going to be with me for the rest of my life, and we're going to be together, and that's what happens. You know, and in order for that to happen, I have to give up my dream and live in Dublin with you, or you have to give up your dream and live in France with me.
Yeah. So every couple experiences this in different ways. Some people call it the power dynamic between people. And emotional relationships, you know, one person will hold the power, let's say, in relation to finances. Another person might hold the power in relation to where you live. And in a real conscious relationship, the idea is that neither of us hold the power. It's not about that. You know, it's about the relationship between us and how we can kind of relate in a different way without there needing to be a power or a certainty at all. And allowing, again, that kind of bubbling up of uncertainty and just seeing where that leads us, because so far that kind of wisdom has served us very well. We've been led to all kinds of interesting places. We've been led to create a lot of beautiful things out of our coming together. So hopefully that will continue.
Yeah. Well, there's no reason to believe it wouldn't.
Well, no, the possibility exists that this is just the beginning of something even more beautiful. And we're at 11 minutes, by the way.
Yeah, and we just we sat with this sign behind us, kind of directly aspire. You know, so what are we aspiring to? Well, we're aspiring to living a very authentic, conscious relationship, and that's part of the reason that we share in this way, because it's interesting, I think, to get a glimpse into a relationship where the power dynamic is not the norm, and where we're both as mad as each other.
Speak for yourself, love. Speak for yourself.
We'd better go because we might miss our flight.
We're called,
We better go back to Belfast. Anyway, that's where the universe is calling us at the moment, is back home to Northern Ireland, and we might take some action in the next few weeks with regards to a few other things and exploring the France thing a little bit more, and we'll see. So we'll keep you posted.
Yeah, we will.
À bientôt. À la prochaine.